While the United States is a global leader in food technology, its approach to food safety is fundamentally different from much of the rest of the world. In America, the FDA generally operates on the principle that an additive is safe until proven harmful. In contrast, the European Union, EU, and other nations follow the precautionary principle, meaning if there is any scientific doubt about a chemical's safety, it is kept off the dinner table. Here is a detailed breakdown of why several American staples are unwelcome in international markets. The rainbow Americans love to taste is under heavy fire. Titanium dioxide, E171. This chemical is used in the US to create a bright white base for colors to pop. However, the European Food Safety Authority, EFSA, concluded that titanium dioxide can no longer be considered safe because genotoxicity, the ability to damage DNA, cannot be ruled out. This can lead to cell mutations and potentially cancer. Artificial dyes, yellow 5, yellow 6, red 40. These are common in Skittles and M&Ms. Countries like Norway and Austria have strict bans or requires warning labels because these dyes are linked to hyperactivity, ADHD, in children and allergic reactions like hives. The Swedish M&M ban, unlike the health-related bans, Sweden's ban on M&Ms is a legal one. A court ruled that Mars Inc. cannot use the lowercase m because it infringes on the trademark of a Swedish chocolate brand, Marabou, which has used a similar M since the 1950s. If you check the ingredient list on a standard loaf of American supermarket bread, you might find azotocarbonamide, ADA. The industrial link, ADA is a chemical foaming agent used primarily in the production of yoga mats, gym shoes, and window gaskets to make them spongy and light. The health risk. In baking, it acts as a flour bleaching agent and dough conditioner. However, when heated, it can break down into semicarbazide, which is linked to cancer in lab animals. Because of this, it is banned for food use in the EU, the UK, Australia, and even parts of South America. 3. Meat production, chlorine and growth stimulants. The way American meat is raised and processed is perhaps the biggest hurdle for international trade. Chlorinated poultry. In the US, it is standard practice to wash slaughtered chicken in a chlorine dioxide solution to kill bacteria like salmonella. The EU has banned American poultry since 1997, not necessarily because the chlorine is toxic to eat, but because it allows for lower hygiene standards on farms. They argue that if you rely on a chemical wash at the end, you don't have to keep the barns clean during the bird's life. Ractopamine in pork. This drug is fed to pigs to increase lean muscle mass, producing more meat and less fat. However, it is banned in 160 countries, including China and Russia. Studies suggest ractopamine can cause high heart rates, tremors, and anxiety in both the animals and the humans who consume the meat. 4. Mountain Dew and BVO. Mountain Dew has long been the target of health regulators outside the U.S. brominated vegetable oil, BVO. Until very recently, Mountain Dew used BVO to keep citrus flavors from separating. BVO contains bromine, the same element found in flame retardants. Excessive consumption has been linked to skin rashes, memory loss, and nerve issues. While the FDA finally moved to ban BVO in 2024, it was banned in Europe and Japan decades ago. Tartrazine, yellow 5. The soda's signature glow is restricted in parts of Europe due to its links to migraines and behavioral issues in children. Samusek and Naskan Denbury. 5. The case of Special K, too much of a good thing. One of the most surprising bans involves Kellogg's Special K in Denmark. Fortification overload. Unlike other bans targeting poisons, Denmark banned Special K because it is heavily fortified with vitamins and minerals. The logic. Danish health officials argue that if a population already has a healthy diet, eating super-fortified foods daily can lead to toxic accumulation of certain vitamins, like vitamin A or iron, which can damage the liver or kidneys over time, particularly in children and pregnant women. Dairy and RBGH, growth hormones. Many American dairy cows are injected with recombinant bovine growth hormone, RBGH, to increase milk production. The ban. This hormone is banned in Canada, the EU, Japan, and Australia. The reason: scientists are concerned about the increased levels of IGF-1, a growth factor, in the milk of treated cows, which some studies have tentatively linked to an increased risk of breast, prostate, and colon cancers in humans. The Great Food Divide highlights a massive gap in regulatory philosophy. While American consumers often have more choices and lower prices, international consumers are often protected from thousands of additives that are standard in the American diet. Would you like me to create a comparison table of these chemicals and their specific side effects for easier reading?